And we might be welcoming home the girls' state champions. They are up 15 points with 2 minutes to go. So.
Yeah.
I'm really hoping that he's not answering my text messages, and I apologize for doing this. As teachers, we always say put your phone away. But this is an exception. Thank you, Robert.
You're welcome.
So, I'm going to read the write-ups for boys spring track and girls spring track, and I am not going to announce the award winners because I think it would be right for them to be able to announce those at their banquet next week. So, for girls spring track, the team had a perfect season, going undefeated in the regular season at 6-0. They were co-Tri-Valley League champions, sharing the title with Hopkinton, who hasn't lost the spring TVL championship in 15 years. The girls were Massachusetts State Relay champions for the first time in the spring, and the girls team is also currently at the Division IV State Championship as I read this speech. This is from Mrs. Nastry. And then there's 2 stars. I am not going to read these awards for the girls track team, because none of the recipients are here, and Coach Nastry would like to surprise them at their banquet next Wednesday. Great job, girls track.
Great job, girls track.
The boys spring track team had a perfect season as well, going undefeated in the regular season at 6-0. They went on to the Tri-Valley League Championship meet to win it with 163 points, outdistancing second place Hopkinton by 88 points, who scored 75. We might have to move them up in divisions, huh? No? Okay. This is the most amount of points scored by any TVL team at the championship in at least 8 years. The boys were also Massachusetts State Relay champions for the 2nd straight year. The boys team is currently at the state championships as well, winning it, by the way. And hopefully, this is for Coach Taylor. They'll be texting in the results, which they have been. And I'm not getting any updates. But I'm not going to tell you they're JFK, MVP, or most improved either. So congratulations to them.
Yeah.
We do have one other thing to hand out. The First and 10 Foundation, which is one of our booster organizations here that supports our football program, asked us to hand out some scholarships, graduation gifts, how do you want to call it? Yeah. So thank you to the First and 10 Foundation, and the president, co-presidents are Ted Kane and Mr. Steve Bishop. Tyler Williams here. Christopher Litchfield. Thank you. Matthew Whittington. George Reese. Robert Smith. Tyler Golden. Well, John Cormier's here.
Yeah, Johnny!
How about Ryan Ionati? How about Zach Friedman? Okay, that was great. Hey, Zach. Graduation. Fair enough. All right, for closing remarks, and then that'll be followed by a video from Mr. O'Neill. I'd like to call up our superintendent, Dr. Joe Baeta.
So that's fine, I'll close out. So first of all, I just want to say a number of thank yous to folks that put this together. From our athletic department, led by Ted Curley, our principal, Ms. Lafayette, and the rest of the staff. And one of the things these folks don't do up here is tell you a little bit about them as coaches. We have, season after season, Coaches of the Year every season here, and I actually have to beat it out of them to either come to a school committee meeting or be recognized or even get a letter from them. They just don't communicate well when it comes to that. I also want to thank Kevin O'Neill, who I know is here tonight, because Kevin has been getting clips from all the different boosters for these sports, etc. I want to congratulate all the seniors and thank you for being great student athletes. As a former high school coach, I know that as a coach and now as a superintendent that getting all of these W's is great. Believe me, I love looking at the banners that are up here. It was actually one of the first things that I did when I visited Norton as the candidate to be superintendent. As I walked this gym and I just looked around at every single banner that was here. And I knew that this was going to be home for a while, simply because I'm a huge sports fanatic. I love high school sports. You don't always see me, so I apologize to some of the athletes who don't see me when I'm out there, or if I'm not out there. But I try to go to as many events as I can. Fortunately and unfortunately, I'm invited to a lot of banquets. Fortunately, thank you for doing it. Unfortunately, I think I might be putting on weight. Just kidding. Come on, it was fun. Boys and girls track team state champions coming home.
Yeah.
I'll finish my comments quickly by simply saying that there's a lot of folks in this audience who come into my office and ask about how we can start another sport. In the last year and a half, 2 years if you count ice hockey as well, we've brought lacrosse to the high school. We've brought to the middle school wrestling, soccer, boys and girls, baseball, softball, and I just got a request for cross country. Every single one of those sports, lacrosse, hockey, and the ones I just announced, are fully, 100% paid for by parents and their business partners that they get in town and throughout the community to support them. Not one penny of those sports funds are supported by, quote, the operational budget. So thank you to all of the people that I see here tonight that I know are in the background collecting not only those $250 and those $50 and those $100 for doing this, because it's because of you that we're able to support having these sports out. It's very easy for me to do because I simply try to do everything I can to simply say yes, and we've been able to do so. I'm pretty much on it as much as possible. Friend us so you can get the latest. I usually get, if I'm not at the sport, I usually get it through Mrs. Taylor. I know she's not here, but #1 fan she really is. Pete, I just got on yours, so I'm retweeting your stuff out now.
Yes!
I'm not on yours yet, but I promise I will be before the end of the night. I know you're going to get it.
I'm 1-1.
Perfect. I'll be right on it. These are truly a wonderful way for us to communicate with the community. So thank you to all you guys and to Ms. Taylor for doing that. And hopefully the student body and parents who can get on it, it's free as access. So this is what I've learned in my 2 years here in Norton as a superintendent. First off, you are a sports town. You love your sports, and I think that's great. Second, I have to do everything in my power to make sure that we continue to enhance those sports and support our student athletes so that they can stay connected to the classroom, because that's one of the things that I think happens with being a student athlete. I apologize that we have fees, and I know that the school committee doesn't like it that we have fees either. And hopefully as we move forward, we can do something about those or support the programs in other ways. But I will tell you the thing that I'm most proud of is that in every event that I go to, it really is about a sense of the individual and the team and the community. That's not something that just comes from teaching kids. That is something that comes from you as parents, guardians, and families, and we thank you for it. So we're going to turn this over to the video, and after the video, join us for some receptions, and thank you so much.